Hello, welcome back to the channel. I'm EVM and this is the MG5. I've had a huge amount of people want to know what is wrong with this car. And that's only because it's so cheap to buy in EV world anyway. It's probably one of the cheapest electric cars on sale, but it's big, it's an estate, it's not an SUV. And I think it's just people thinking, what's the catch? It's cheap, but is it cheap for a reason or is it just very good value? First take, first take. As usual, we'll look around the outside, the inside, and then take it for a spin. Now, in terms of looks, it's a little dated for me. I feel like I've found a 1990s electric car prototype in a barn. It's been there for 20, 30 years. It almost belongs in the background of a 1990s TV sitcom. It's driving in the background. It's plain, it's bland. But you know what? I don't think anybody that buys this is ultimately going to be bothered about what it looks like. It's a car you buy for practicality, functional, and good value. This is the charging flap, which is fine. It's good accessibility, but if I just have a look here, it's pretty much the furthest most point of the car at the front, which means if some muppet reverses into you in a car park or something, you could have a potentially expensive low-speed shunt. So I'm not sure about the placement of that in terms of you could have a big insurance bill, as I said, for just a little minor accident. Other than that though, it's, well, it looks kind of like an Astra, I think, as well, doesn't it? An old Astra. It's up to you. What do you think? It's just a car for me. Let's see if the side's any better. It's typical estate profile. It's got quite a nice crease down here. You can tell it's kind of Chinese-American market for me because it does have that American look to it. Not in a bad way, just, you know, the big wheels, as in high-profile tyres. It's designed for comfort as opposed to looks, which is more of a European thing. You know what? I can live with it. It's not too bad. It's not fantastic. But there is a significant issue which I feel I need to tell you about. These, the roof bars. They're standard on the exclusive trim, not on the Excite. The problem is, you can't use them. They are for cosmetic purposes only. And MG only told people this a few months after the car came out. How did that happen? How have they released the car, which on the brochures showed a bicycle on the roof? How did they do that and then not know that it didn't presumably meet EU regulations? So that's a bit of a strange one. You can't use the roof bars for anything you'd normally use roof bars for. So yeah, bit of a strange one. But at the moment, it's not really a deal breaker for me. Now, the back end of the car, it's an estate. You put big things in estates. Let's see how practical it is. The back, for me, is its best angle. It actually looks reasonably modern. You've got some quite nice angles coming on here. Bit of silver trim, breaking the rear up. Yeah, it's pretty good. I can live with that. Now, the boot. It is an estate. Let's see how practical this is. Just to put it into context, this car is about that much smaller, shorter than a Ford Focus estate. So it's not a big estate, but it is a decent one. I mean, that's a decent sized boot. Let me just pull this back. Come on. It's a good family sized boot. I mean, this is practical. There is a bit of a lip, obviously, so it's not flat. But you know, it's a big boot. Now, it's not a flat loading bay, far from it, in fact, but it is big and very usable. I mean, let's have a look. Yeah, it's all right. Can't get out now. They're really going to wonder what the hell was going on then. Someone's filming somebody fronting on a car. Okay, let's have a look. You got keyless entry, at least on this model. Yeah, here we go. And look, Harry's back.
Hello!
Right, the inside of this, is this where they've saved some money, basically? The steering wheel, it does look a little bit 1990s again, carrying on the theme. But look, decent buttons, good feedback. Nothing black and glossy or shiny. Flat bottom. I mean, it's nice, it's fine. This, decent. Bit hard there, but that's quite soft. These are all right. They're not bad, not cheap, certainly. Hard-wearing fabrics. This is obviously fake leather. Decent door bin. You'd just about, yep, just about get a bottle in there. The vents, Nice and solid, they're not going to be loose. Hard plastic there, but it looks nice and I can live with that. Same with the vents here, again. You press the button there to start it, and then you get this, which is a nice big display. Quite easy to read as well. I mean, I'm pretty impressed, to be perfectly honest with you, for a car of this value. If I press these buttons here on the steering wheel, you can cycle through various modes. So you've got digital speedometer as well as the speedo on your left. That's obviously your chargeometer there. Tyre pressure and various other usual diagrams. So I think on a car like this, it's definitely better than the ZS display. Again, I'll come back to that. This now down here, it's where you do the drive selection. Let me just get the shiny gloss mirror out of the way. Nice and easy to use. You press that for park. You've got the electronic handbrake there. Sports mode and eco mode and normal mode. So that's what these do, actual buttons. And look, a KERS button, which is effectively changing the level of regen. You can just see it, that little circle down there. These buttons here, they feel pretty good. And look, more knobs. I'm a big fan of knobs. Are you a big fan of knobs, Harry?
I love knobs.
You love knobs too.
Yep.
And these are pretty nice, solid knobs, very hard.
I like them if they're shiny as well.
Shiny knobs are very good, so I do like this. And look at this for a premium feature. Under here you have 2 USB ports, one for Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and one for charging, as well as a 12-volt adapter. But check this out. It's like you're in a Bentley. Wow. You got some cup holders back here, which fit nicely. That one's slightly smaller than that one, so that works quite well. Here you got some closed storage, reasonably deep. You can fit enough of your junk in that. The infotainment system is something I'm tempted to gloss over and pretend it doesn't exist. It's, well, let me give you a test here for the navigation, just to highlight what I mean. Here we go. I won't count, you can count on camera, but yeah, just to show that I'm not slowing this down at all. Yes, I'm wanting to get on with my journey, please, thank you, come on. Click accept, and it still keeps going. Here we go, it's still struggling, and finally I'm at a position where I can go on. There we go, program my car. So it's effectively like a 1990s computer running a modern game. It's struggling, the processor's not good enough, and well, it's really not very good at all. However, the Android Auto and Apple CarPlay render that completely irrelevant because you've effectively got Google Maps, Spotify, and all the usual stuff. The glove box, will you fit gloves in the glove box?
Look. You'll get gloves and a hat.
That is huge. It's a nice place to be. I'm actually very impressed in terms of the design. It's very American, but that's not a bad thing. It's
better than the ID3.
I'd say the build's probably slightly better than the ID3, but the materials used I prefer in this. Yeah. Easy access. I mean, nice wide doors. Now this, as usual, is in a position for someone who's about 6 foot something. So there's a tall driver position in front of me. I've got, I can't get my feet underneath this chair at all because it's in its lowest position, which I find is the most comfortable. I've just enough room, quite frankly. So if you've got a very tall driver, the adults will be okay, but not really on a long journey. 2 more USB ports, an air vent down there. Other than that, it's a standard rear. For kids, there's a huge amount of space. The middle bench is actually pretty usable as well, because look, it's a flat floor. Let's see what it's like on the road. Are you excited, Harry?
Oh, very.
Let's talk about price then, because the list price of this is 25 and a bit, and it goes to 27 and a bit for the top trim, which is this is, of course. However, on a car that's only just come out, a very, very quick Google, I've managed to find this very car, the top trim level, for, I think it's £21,800.
Wow.
21.5 grandish for a full electric 50,
family
just
car.
over 50 kilowatt hour, estate, large family car. In EV world, that is astonishingly cheap. I mean, 22, let's call it 22 grand. Even when you shop around, you might get a Corsa E.
Yeah.
It's not quite
It's not a family car, is it?
Not a family car,
You'd have to have another car as well, wouldn't you?
So the value is just off the charts to the point where
there's no competition.
There's no competition.
Apart from the other MG.
Only thing that really annoys me is the roof bar thing.
Yeah, it's a bit of a...
How has that got past?
It must be some sort of regulation in terms of what the weight it can carry.
It clearly doesn't meet EU regulations, whatever.
If anyone knows,
done,
put it in the comments.
Yeah, we've done with that. But someone's getting fired for that one. They have to have been.
I don't know the fact it's got heated seats and you have You're saying one setting,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is on.
On or off for heated seats.
Fantastic. Who needs more than one setting?
Some people think when you've got 3 levels of heated seat, it's too complicated.
It's nothing special, but it doesn't pretend to be.
So the expectations, I would say it's exceeded my expectations.
I would say so.
Just like the ZS did.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought, well, it's cheap, like very cheap compared to other EVs
Well,
with this battery size. Where's it saving the money? And
I think you've got this thing I have in my head
Snobbery.
certainly when someone goes, oh, it's a Chinese car, and you go, oh, I've seen them.
Yeah, but what else is a Chinese car that we drove and everybody seems to like?
Oh, yeah,
It
yeah.
literally says made in China on the side of the door.
Polestar
The
2.
Polestar 2.
Yep.
Everybody complain in the comments, and I get this all the time in the MG video as well. Even now, I will not buy anything from China. Typed in on a Chinese tablet or an iPad or an iPhone.
Apart from all the PPE you're wearing.
I can understand why people will do that, but then they'll drive around in a car that uses oil from Saudi Arabia or Iraq or something like that.
Whilst using an iPhone.
Yeah, so let's not go too far down the political discussion, but
It's a car.
can we just can we just look at it as a car? There is a snobbery, isn't there? That's I said it with the ZS.
Well,
People won't buy this because of the badge.
Badge snobbery. Yeah.
Badge snobbery. If you covered this up,
You
or
still
put-
get that nowadays though with Skoda.
yeah,
Oh, I'm
or
not
buy a
buying
Skoda because it's Skoda's not very good. It's like, where have you been for the last 20 years? It's going to be the biggest problem, isn't it? It's
badge.
going to the same people that shop at Aldi but put stuff in Sainsbury's bags,
Yep.
and the same people that won't buy this
Yep.
because people on their road will see on their driveway the car they've
got an M,
bought,
yep.
and that's the snobbery that people will be like, oh, I don't know, it's an MG.
an MG,
They're going to look at me as an Aldi shopper like that's a bad thing. I shop at Aldi, it's cracking.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I've come away with things from Aldi that I never knew I wanted.
Chainsaw. Wheelbarrows.
Air compressor. You know, ice cream maker that wouldn't fit in my freezer.
Jet wash.
What is this
I'll
missing?
tell you what, this is a relief.
The 40 kilowatt leaf.
Yeah.
In fact, yeah, they're in a good price bracket actually.
Yeah.
They're about the same price, aren't they? 22, 23 grand. Absolutely, I would pick this over the Nissan Leaf. 100%. So I think that's what people are going to be worried about the most in it. The badge.
Yeah.
Is it going to break down? Well, you've got a 7-year warranty, so it shouldn't matter.
What's the dealer network like?
Unfortunately, I do have to bring this up. I have got an inordinate amount of complaints from people in the comment sections and the Twitter about the MG dealers. My brother owns an MG ZS EV. Shocking.
Oh, no.
I mean, really bad. The traction control system is almost, well, it's there. It's the best thing I can say. It spins its wheels happily a lot, doesn't it? Especially in sports mode.
Yep.
But
You're not gonna be
I'm
driving
doing it
like that.
deliberately. I'm trying to make a point there. The refinement that you're missing on this level of car in terms of the price, you know, there's not as much sound deadening maybe, and things like that.
Yeah.
But it's noisier than EVs, but it's not a noisy car.
It's not one. Compare it to a
Petrol car, certainly
car
not.
or a
No,
diesel
no,
car.
no,
It's
I'm going to push it, Harry.
don't.
On country roads.
We're gonna die.
Oh!
Oh, wheel spin.
It's weird, isn't it? We went over a bump that has never done that in any other car,
Yep.
and got a little bit of air. So that just shows you the suspensions.
Yeah. It's the amount of travel in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of travel there. I mean, to be fair, it's making
goes,
good, quick
doesn't it?
progress, isn't it? It's not a slow car. In fact, compared to, you know, your average, like, oh, I've got a 1.6 Golf or something.
No,
like
it's going absolutely.
It's quicker than
all
that.
of
But again, how many people are going to buy this and
We'll do this.
hooning it around the country roads? So, is that the phrase that sums this car up, though?
What's that?
It's all right.
It's all right. Yeah. I think it's vanilla ice cream.
Yeah.
It's ice cream.
Yeah, if you want some ice cream, it'll do. If you want to put it on your sticky toffee pudding, it's perfect. But if you're wanting some posh and, you know, upmarket,
It's not.
it's
that.
not for you.
But hey, you're gonna have to spend double.
Yeah, you're going to pay for that. You know, when you stop with a little bit more gusto on the brakes, and it does the American thing.
Yeah.
When
like
it kind of settles
like a
down.
waterbed.
Oh, yeah, waterbed. Before anyone asks, no, you can't tow in it, just like the ZS. They do actually make a tow bar.
I bet it would tow. It just hasn't been certified.
It's not been certified or homologated for it. Now, be careful. I believe I've left it in sports mode.
Whoa.
Um,
I'm not sure I'm ready. Can we warm up to a lesser power? Let's have a see what the steering feels like. There is a very strange disconnect. There's quite a lot of movement in that. Look at that. And
We're not exactly, yeah, I'm not holding on to my seat.
I would expect that.
Yeah. This isn't a car person's car.
No, so I mean, for the price and what you're getting, it's certainly something that you're not going to be looking at, is it?
Absolutely
really?
not, no.
It does very much remind me of the Mark 1 Octavia.
Yeah.
It very much so.
Yeah, the Mark 1 Octavia was fantastic, wasn't it? It was relatively basic. You had, what, 3 options buying it? Colour, wheels.
Estate or non-estate.
Yeah. And this kind of does remind me of that. Maybe not so much in the build.
No.
But it's not bad, is this? But yeah, it's that people just want uncomplicated cars sometimes, don't they?
Yeah. I reckon this would make an absolutely cracking taxi.
A taxi? It is a taxi.
It is.
You've nailed it on the head. This is a taxi. I feel like I'm getting taken somewhere in like a 1990s Toyota Avensis.
It is. It just is that. It's a fantastic taxi.
Well, yeah, because you're going to have 100. Well, let's talk about range. I would say 150 to 170 miles in the real world in this car, which is, apart from airport runs a lot, this is going to do a shift in it, a taxi shift.
That's far so, yeah.
And even a 20-minute rapid charge is going to get you another 80 miles, I reckon, maybe 100 miles. So it is the perfect taxi and immensely affordable.
It is, yeah. I mean, with that boot as well, you could, throw pretty much what you want in there, can't you? You can.
Yeah, you're not going to be too bothered when you pay this amount of money for this type of car in just throwing stuff in the back.
Yeah, or the dog's in and out the back and it's covered in mud and it stinks.
Yeah,
well,
it's the workhorse car, isn't it? And not just because of the price. It just got that feeling to it, like the taxi.
Well, it's snowing again.
Might get this filmed one day.
Even the horses with coats on look pissed off. Look at them.
It is utterly miserable. Going to work, I got 3.5 in eco mode.
Yeah.
Coming back in sports mode and having some fun, it did 3.
Okay.
So I reckon you'd get about 3 on average in winter and possibly 4 maybe in better weather. So it's average.
Yeah.
Sat nav is woeful, isn't it?
I think it's just been that. It's there as an afterthought, isn't it? You are not meant to use that.
It'd work at a pinch, wouldn't it? But that's about it.
It might get you near where you need to go. It's a bit like Ryanair.
Yeah.
Okay. To sum up this vehicle, what do you reckon?
I can't fault it, given the expectations and price that it's at.
It's difficult.
I literally cannot fault it, because anything that aren't that good are completely acceptable at this price bracket.
Yeah.
It beats expectations. It's the ZS all over again.
Yeah.
It's better than most people thought. And I can't find many people that own the MG ZS, my brother included, and he does a lot of miles, that don't sing its praises. Other than the dealer network, of course. So this is IKEA furniture.
I think it is, yeah.
Cheap, but you know what? It's actually pretty solid, does the job, and considering how much you paid for it, you don't mind.
It's acceptable.
It's acceptable.
Yeah. I think acceptable is maybe a bit cruel. It's more than acceptable, isn't it?
Yeah.
Given the price, it's not like it just does. It's.
Well, as you said with the Porsche Taycan, which is a car clearly that's comparable to this.
Yeah.
You get a level in your head.
Where you go, it's going to be there.
It's going to be there, and then you either subtract points or add points, depending on what it's actually like.
Yeah.
And we're only adding points, aren't we?
Yeah.
It's better than we anticipated, and therefore we would be happy with this purchase because I'm not disappointed with what I expected.
I think as well, sometimes with a car you're looking at reasons to like it, and I'm trying to look at reasons why I don't like this and can't pick out many.
So yeah, thanks for watching. Subscribe, yada yada yada, blah blah blah. Press the buttons. I like people who press buttons.
Yep.
Even this is easy to use.
Yeah.
You know when you're flicking between.
It's easy. Yeah. So we've got camera.
Yeah. Right. Cheers, guys. I'll see you soon. Let me know what you think in the comments. Are you a badge snob? Will you not buy this because of the MG? Because the neighbours will think that you're tight. In Yorkshire, that doesn't matter at all.
No.
Right. Bye.
See you later.